go nuts. Okay, we're going to add a bit more detail this tail, and we'll add kind of the grass down the bottom. Now, basically we've covered the tools that we're going to be using, so you can skip ahead. There's a couple of little things that we'll do in here. So let's do this tail first. Okay, so I might grab my rectangle tool. Can't find him, there he is. Okay, draw something roughly close to it. You'll notice the smart guides here is locking to the bottom, super helpful. You can turn them off though, remember, under View, Smart Guides, if you're finding them troublesome. There's a shortcut, it's a really often to turn it on and off while you're building. Okay, so they've given it a really good shortcut. In this case on a Mac, it's Command U or Control U on a PC. Okay, so first thing I wanna do is I'm gonna give it no fill so I can see through it. Okay, and I'm gonna grab my white arrow, click on just this corner. Actually, I'm going to click on that one, hold shift, grab that one, and let's draw something matching this. Okay, same thing again. I'm going to draw a rectangle over this guy. Okay, I'm going to grab my white arrow, click on this one, hold shift, grab this guy, grab that corner point, and we're doing some stuff. Okay, and what I want to do is I'm going to pick a fill color. So at the moment the stroke is orange. I'd like to have the stroke as none. Fill color is the orange. And I'm going to have this fill color, so a stroke of none and a fill color of white. Exciting. Now he's lying down. I feel like now that I've drawn it, I want to grab this guy. So I selected both of them, clicked on this, hold shift, grab this guy, and I'm gonna rotate it around. Holding shift while you're rotating, remember, like the head, locks it into kind of 45. Does he look like he's sleeping there? You decide. Does it? Can't tell. Yeah, he looks like he's sleeping there. All right, and next thing I'd like to do is underneath here is some grass. So all I'm gonna do is, actually I'm just gonna move that out of the way for the moment. Grab the polygon tool, which is still set to triangle. Okay, draw something triangly, and then grab the black arrow and just kind of shrink it in there. And I'm just gonna build this. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Copy and paste it. So with it selected, I'm going to edit, copy, edit, paste. Okay, and I'm just going to use my shortcuts to speed it up. And I'm going to draw it, resize it. This is where you can just build your own grass. It's a little bit hard. Grab that dot in the middle to make sure you move it. Now I'm just doodling. There is one other thing, so hang around. I'll show you in a sec. Okay, copy, paste, move it around. Okay, so I'm not too worried about these being kind of down here because I'm going to show you a technique to kind of trim them up. So I'm going to select all these, copy and paste it. I've got another version. Okay, and with them all selected, I can scale them all in one go. So it's going to look something like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select them all. Okay, and I'm going to grab you, and I'm going to give it a fill of this kind of like dark gray color. I'll show you what I'm going to do in a second. You saw it at the beginning, right? So move him back in. Nice. Cool. So we've used my drawing now, and it's kind of done its dash. Okay, we've got our kind of full drawing now. I want to go into my layers panel, and let's just turn the visibility of it off. So this eyeball layer here, if you click on that, you'll notice it disappears. You can leave it there, okay, it doesn't really matter, but I'm just turning it off so I can't see it. It kind of brings me to my next point. I don't know why I need to resize this. My next point is when you're scaling things, well, it's what happened by default. So if I select everything, so black arrow, drag a box around all of it, okay, under properties, there's an important thing here, okay? Actually, no, before you select anything, there's this one here, scale, stroke, and effects. Okay, so there's gonna be times when you need this on and sometimes when you need it off. So if it's off, look what happens. If I select this and I scale it down, so I just need a smaller version of them. So I've selected all. I'm going to scale it down, and like we did when we're drawing lots of shapes, if we hold down shift while we're scaling it, it locks the height and width, otherwise it gets all kind of stretchy. Okay, so shift down, and look what happens when I get down quite small. Okay, it's remembered that this is 5 points. Okay, and it just does some weird stuff when it gets down to here, right? Because it's trying to kind of remember the actual radiuses that we used, okay, around here, and it's doing some strange things. So sometimes you want that, okay, you want to scale it down a bit and retain the stroke width, but I'm going to go to Edit Undo, and with nothing selected, I'm going to turn that on, and it's going to scale those strokes. Now, okay, proportionally to the size that I've got. Now when I scale it down, I hold down Shift and I scale it down, you can see these guys, these stars here, they come down and they're a smaller size. They're like 3 points now. Okay, so that's just kind of something you need to kind of be aware of when you're scaling things, is that sometimes you want them to scale with, appropriately, and sometimes you want them to get actually smaller. So you'll turn that on and off. Okay, last little thing is I'm just gonna, make this look a little nicer with some rectangles. I'm going to draw a rectangle that covers kind of the bottom here. I'm just gonna match the same color as my grass. Actually, I might use the black arrow and get it to snap to the bottom of my fox. I'm gonna use the same color as that. So fill, and which one is it? Lucky first guess. Same with the sky here. Okay, I'm gonna grab the rectangle tool and spacebar, drag up a little bit. And let's have a nice starry sky. Snaps in, fill color. I'm going to use another one of the darker grays, that dark. Okay, with it selected, arrange, send it back. And I might make these stars just white, even though we spent ages talking about the strokes of these guys. Goodbye stroke. And the fill might be up to, I don't know what I'm doing. Messing about now. All right, so that is my, or our fox drawn out of just really basic shapes. And there's so much you can do just with those shapes. Now, like I said at the beginning, often it's a combination of, I've kind of kept this design to specific shapes just to kind of like, I guess, work through some of the tools. But often you'll find you'll be using things like the shape builder tool and the pen tool, which we'll do in, the next tutorials. Also my process, like you saw how we kind of started with a drawing first. I do that really often, right? I'll kind of draw in my notebook because I find that it's just easier and quicker. And then often I don't even do a scan, okay, to redraw in Illustrator. I just get a general sense of it in my notebook. Now, my drawing here look really good, right? Well, look really good. It's perfect, it's kind of like follows the lines. It's never that good. I'll show you. I'll cut to this shot here, jump across. So here it is. I just took a photo of my notebook here. That is the glorious fox. I just kind of drew it a little bit and kind of got it close, and I wouldn't scan that and redraw. I just used it as a kind of a visual, and then just started drawing in Illustrator kind of to perfect it, I guess, it look to get a nicer shape. But yeah, that's kind of more of a truer sense of my process. I will just do a really kind of basic drawing and then draw straight into Illustrator. Okay, so that's the end of how to draw with basic shapes. And what I'd like to do now is challenge you to a challenge. And it's to take kind of the same techniques. So you're going to let you use rectangles, stars, lines, those types of things, and create your own animal. It can be sleeping like mine. It doesn't have to be. Okay, just something simple. Pick some different colors. It can still be a mammal. Okay, so you can use the whiskers. It can still be sleeping. It can use stars. But just pick a different animal, dog, cat, some sort of animal, and I'd love to see it as part of your project. So give it a go. I'd love to see what you have done. So when you've done it, doesn't matter how good you think it is or bad it is, please post it as a project. I'd love to see it. All right, let's get on to the next video.